Hey guys, TCGLover here. I've been kind of off for a few days because I've been kind of ill actually, been a bit sick. But I thought instead of uploading whatnot, talking about insects or whatever, because nobody cares anymore. I'm going to talk about Cardcar D. The main reason is because I've just randomly posted a blog post on my blog, and I kind of just talked about the card, saying why I don't really like it, and I don't know, it seems to have sparked a lot of kind of resistance, really, because it's kind of one of those cards that, like, it was not really like Tour Guide, because Tour Guide kind of, like, it hit off, it just kind of went in the right direction right from the beginning. Like, obviously, I'm talking about when Xyz came out, because when it came out in Extreme Victory, it kind of didn't really do anything, because people didn't really expect Xyz, like, they could see it coming, but they didn't really prepare enough. So when Tour Guide actually started going up in price, people were jumping on it too, a lot, and everybody was wanting it. That's why it went up to like 100 and something, ridiculous amount. So the thing is, with Cardcar D, the way that they designed it is kind of in a way that, it's very limited what you can do with it. I mean, like, it has one job, basically, one purpose, to make your hand bigger, and that's kind of it. It's like Pot of Greed, but with so many restrictions on it that, you can't special summon on the turn you use it. You can't normal summon something else because you're normal summoning that. You can set cards, you can activate spells, but you can't activate spells that special summon, like, Monster Reborn. There's no point doing that. So it's like, I don't know, I mean, in the OCG, they use it in Insectors because Insectors is a really good deck in there. I mean, obviously, we're kind of aligning ourselves with the OCG now because Priority's gone. But the thing is, in Insectors, it's kind of like the way the deck works. It's quite slow in a way that you want to draw into your Hornets and Ladybugs if you play those, and you need the draw power. But however, in the TCG we have Tour Guide. I mean, if you think about it, would you prefer to have draw power, good draw power, or a little less hand advantage, but you get to search the card that you want instead? So, like, with Cardcar D, you are basically drawing the card that you use for Cardcar D, and then you draw another one. So you have two. So you have you summon it. If you were to summon the card on your turn, and then you were to activate its effect without setting any cards, you would draw until you have 7 cards. So you have to discard one. So that's pointless. So you have to set something. So in a monster card hand where you've got no spells or traps, the card is completely useless. You don't want to do that. You can't summon anything with it. So there's absolutely no point. Unless you have Gauze. Even then it's kind of like, not great. But the thing is, with Tour Guide, it allows you to make beaters. Yeah, it's a dark. And Sangan allows you to search for Cardcar D. Lets you search for Veiler, Rabbit, Insect stuff. Lets you search for your wind-up stuff. It's like, it's such a good card. And obviously people don't play Sangan because you require your normal summon. So if that's the case, if people think Sangan is slow, then why are you playing Cardcar D? I don't understand why. Obviously you play Sangan with Tour Guide because Tour Guide gets Sangan from your deck, so you can have 2 monsters on your field. It's like, because they'll summon something, they'll destroy your Sangan or Tour Guide, and then you can use that card to tribute, or you can enemy control, you can just Dark Hole, so many things. So if that's the case, if Sangan is not played on its own, then why would you play Cardcar D? You get draw power, but at the same time, you can draw crap. You can still draw really bad cards. It's still like Duality. There's whole argument about Duality and Cardcar D. If you open with both of them, if you run 3 of each and you open with both of them, it's a really great thing because you can Duality a spell or trap card like Solemn Warning, and then you set 3, and then you summon Cardcar D, and then that's it. So that's really great, and then you can just basically, if they summon Thunder King or something, you can just Solemn Warning it on your turn. You suddenly have like 4 or 5 cards in hand now, so you can blow up from there. But it's all down to chance. If you have a really consistent deck, then of course you can run that stuff. But at the same time, Insectors, I've played them, and they're not perfectly consistent. You need to, it's combo orientated. You need to have the search ability to be able to get the right cards in your hand, otherwise you'll draw crap. Because if you draw Gigamantis without a card to equip it to, then it's useless. If you draw Centipede, if you draw Dragonfly, if you draw Hornet with no other card to equip it, if you know, it's kind of pointless. If you draw Centipede and Dragonfly in your hand with no other thing to equip, then they're both dead. Unless you have like Heart of Clear Water, but no one plays that card. So it's kind of like, you know, Cardcar D does help, but at the same time, I'd much rather run Tour Guide. I mean, like, okay, if I go Dragonfly, equip Hornet, blow up something, and then remove from play Hornet and Veiler. No, okay, move from play Dragonfly and Veiler to summon BLS, and then I use that Dragonfly special summon with Centipede, which blows up something else as well, to go into Levier. I can summon Dragonfly and then do some more crap. I mean, can you do that with Cardcar D? I don't understand, like, how you can really follow on with Cardcar D. I mean, people are saying, oh yeah, you get to draw, you get to, you know, you get more consistency, you get to OTK and stuff. It's like, okay, well, why isn't it really at this point? I mean, it's only been out for a week, but why isn't it suddenly the most amazing card ever? I mean, if it was, it's one of those cards where it either is incredibly good in a deck or it sucks. You can't have a middle. There's no, I mean, in Chainburn, it's brilliant because, you know, the whole deck is spells and traps. If you run a low monster count deck, then you will need Cardcar D to, you know, you can just draw it into your spells and traps, and then you can just go like that. You don't need to worry about, you know, oh, I hope I draw into something good. It's stupid. And of course, with now priority gone, Cardcar D can get Veilered. I mean, I wouldn't Veiler it because I think it's pointless, because I'd rather Veiler the cards that he draws. You know, it's kind of stupid. I mean, I'd rather they summon Rabbit and I Veiler that, because I know Rabbit can turn into a Yugioh, it can turn into a Dolka, it can turn into a Utopia, turn into a Maestro, turn into all these things that I have to deal with. And, you know, it could be anything. So, obviously, I can't tell what they're going to exceed into until they do it. So, of course, why would you want to risk the chance that they exceed into something that you can't take down? So, of course, you would Veil a Rabbit. But with Cardcar D, if they... I mean, as I was thinking, if I run in my Evo deck, if I have to Evo Force a Najasho and go into 2 Evo Swords and then go into Lagia and then set free, you know, if you're going to give me a chance to do that, then I don't really care if you have 7 cards in your hand in your draw phase. I mean, you know, it's going to take you. It's like that's the reason why Rabbit is so good, is because they can. is because they can, like, summon a Lagia with 1 card and set free. It's just like, this is such a stupid play, and it's so easy to do. But the point is that the whole combo works. I mean, it's what makes the deck good. So the same thing with Evos. I don't care if you have such a great hand. If you have a giant hand of cards, like, oh my god, it's you can have as many cards as you want. I mean, if you draw cards, okay, if you have 30 cards in your hand, which is stupid, but I'm saying for the purpose of the scenario, if you have 30 cards in your hand, then, you know, you will have enough Dark Holes, Monster Reborns, and all that stuff to take down my Lagia and to take down my back row. I wouldn't expect that, but 7 cards against 6, it really isn't that much of a difference. I'm still happy that I'm sitting behind a Lagia, and I'm still happy that if you can't take it down, I'm going to keep drawing cards on my turns. I'm just going to keep plowing for your attack, your life points. I've got MST set, so if you set your back rows and try and Cardcar D, you know, I don't care. I mean, if I got Lagia on the field and you Cardcar D, I'm not going to negate the summon. That's stupid. You know, I'm just going to let you have your turn away, because then I can just attack, and then you're going to have to rely on a Mirror Force, which no one plays anymore. So you're just going to be taking attack. I mean, you know, you got to think, when you're playing expensive cards, and when you're playing good cards, or cards that people think are good, you got to think, can it beat the best deck? Is it the out to the best deck? I mean, Chain Disappearance is now suddenly going up in price because it hits everything now because of priority gone. So that's understandable, because it hits everything that's, like, competitive. But Cardcar D, if you don't go first, it suddenly becomes crap. Because I don't really want my opponent to Rabbit into 2 Lagias, and then you Cardcar D, draw, oh, I've got Gauze in my hand now, and then they end up going Tour Guide into Levier, and then going into Dolka, and then you can't summon Gauze after that. So I don't understand. I mean, I just don't like the card that much, and I don't like the price tag. It's still at its hyped price. I can understand Tour Guide, and obviously Tour Guide getting reprinted, so even then it's going down to about 80 now, which is still a ridiculous amount of money. But yeah, but Cardcar D is still like $100. It doesn't make any sense. So of course you can comment down below and tell me what you actually think of the card itself. If you think it's great, if you don't, so whatever. But I personally don't like it. So yeah, that's my discussion for the card. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. TCG Lover out.